Hello, Will. How are you? How are you? Thank you very much for your time to take a small talk with us in Latin America,
Yeah,
actually.
thanks for having me.
Excellent. Oh, wow. I can see that you are in your studio, right? In your house right now?
Yeah, down in the basement.
Wow, you have like a lot of keywords and things. Actually, I was going to buy roads the next week, so I am also a musician actually, and I
Oh,
am
cool.
looking for these roads like all the year. I was about to buy this on March, but suddenly the quarantine locked us down. So yeah,
You
it
have
was
friends to help you move it.
yeah. Like
It's heavy. It's
I
heavy.
have
It's heavy.
it's really heavy, but it's amazing sound. I love.
Yeah.
I am a composer too, so it's like everything about music for me. It's excellent.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Thank you very much to be here. We are from El Roco es Cultura. We have lots of fans
Hmm.
around Latin America. We are about 10 million people, real people, not bots. And actually, a lot of them they saw you on live. I saw you live. It was an amazing experience. So the lights, all the costumes, all that music, and right now we will talk about your third solo record, right?
Yeah.
Great. Well, first of all, how you are you taking the quarantine? That will be something good to know to all of us.
It's been so I'm in New York, and the summer's been good. It's been summer. Like people are out and they're wearing masks, but you're people are out in the parks and it feels warm and it feels good. It's felt like the apocalypse might come again at any moment, but it's felt like a real summer. Like people have been very grateful, I think, for the summer.
Hmm. So you are
And
in,
same, I have also felt grateful for the summer.
yeah. So you are right now in your house with your kids and composing and just in that moment, right?
Yeah, yeah, a lot of family time the last few months.
And well, going to the music, what's the way you compose? Like that's like a really like I would love to know how's your way of composing. You go directly to the guitar. You have like a dream of a melody or a mix of everything. What's like your way?
It's pretty song to song. Yeah, sometimes it's you have a thought and you sing it into your iPhone,
Exactly. Yeah.
and then you listen back 2 months later. You're like, oh wait, what's that one?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something. And then you sit at the piano. Um, some of it is like very sonically, like you sit at a synthesizer and you make a sound, or you plug two things into each other and it starts making something crazy, and it inspires a feeling, and then you just follow the sound where it can go. Um, and then lyrically, some of it flows, but a lot of it is it's like you write a draft, you think about it, you scratch out a word, you go to sleep, you write a different word, you scratch it out, you go to sleep, you write another word. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
a lot of ponderousness in the lyrical writing. But yeah, it's song to song.
Okay, excellent. And this new record, Generations, right? That is gonna be out on the 25th of this month, actually, just 25 days
This
more.
month, wow! Oh my gosh, we're here.
Yeah, we are right now. When did you started that composition, record, like everything? This year was all the creation.
No, I started making it last summer.
Okay.
The songs, some of the songs were very done. Some of them I played live with my band a couple times. But last summer I was like, we're going to play a weekend of shows with all these new songs and try to figure them out. And then we're going to come down to the basement and we're going to spend a week recording. This was last July, so a little over a year ago. And we did that week, and it felt like a record. It wasn't done. There was still 9 months of work to do. But after that first week, it was like, oh, there are songs on here. There's like 7 songs that we've recorded already that feel like they're part of something. And then it just, you know, the weeks passed essentially.
Great. And the album, the cover, the design of the cover album, like you were involved in that too, or it was just someone that made that, or it also all the
Yeah,
credit?
I went to Daniel Murphy, who was the designer, and I
Mhm.
was like, I feel like I want the record to just feel like bloody fingerprints, like someone
Yeah,
picked up a record and left their fingerprints on it. And then he came up with iterations, and then the thumbprint on it, he said he accidentally made it somewhere and then took a picture of like, that feels like a record cover, like that. And then, same, I was like, that feels iconic, like one thumbprint, like.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's really interesting. I never saw something like that. So it's like so simple and the same way, kind of different and trippy. So it's like I
Yeah.
really like that thing. Actually, do you watch this? Can you see this album thing? It's from the Beatles, from
The Yellow
the
Submarine.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is an original from the age of 60 something. Like
Oh wow.
it's
Oh
an
cool.
original. I was in United States and like I need that right now.
Yeah, yeah. That's
But
beautiful.
yeah, actually, can you say that you have some influence from them in some way?
Yeah, very much so. Um, I always say, like, "Close My Eyes" is very much "I'm only sleeping" kind of song. It's like, "I'm only sleeping," just like,
Yeah,
"Please don't wake me." It's trying for like a John Lennon feel. Yeah, very much so. I mean, they're just part of the fabric of life. It's hard to not be influenced by them.
great. Right now, a lot of people, it's like waiting for this album in our like group of followers. And can you talk about a little bit of generations? And we know that you have released "Surrender" with a video, "Close My Eyes" too with the
Hmm.
video. We will share that. And the- I read something about like this is like a short story album. What can you say about this new release?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a concept record, but there's themes throughout it.
Okay.
And I mean, you hear on Surrender and you hear on Close My Eyes that the backing vocals are very present. I mean, it's very much a band record. It's the band I've toured with the last 5 years, but it feels like the arc of a conversation where sometimes you're agreeing with people, sometimes you're lost, sometimes you're fighting, but then you come back together. Like it's not a lonely record. It feels like part of the world and like trying to communicate with people, not always succeeding. And that's the feeling of just like trying to figure out where did we come from, where are we going, um, together, like not just like in your head, but trying to get someone to go along with you.
Yeah, yeah, great. And this quarantine that we don't know what we are going to do as musicians on the live concerts and things. Do you have some
Yeah.
idea about like you will release that and that's going to be amazing in our ears through these things? But are you gonna make some digital streaming things to the fans?
Yeah, 100%. We'll definitely do something for the release, even if it's just something very simple, just to
Mhm.
be like, we're here, we're together, let's do it. And I'd love to figure out, it's hard because it's not what I'm the most skilled at, but yeah, trying to figure out what to do when you can't play shows. Like, how do you play a show? How do you make something for people? Yeah.
Oh, that will be great. Actually, you are totally invited to use our platform just to go live if you
Oh,
want
wow.
anytime. Like,
Thank you.
we were like honored to have you alive there.
Oh, amazing.
And yeah, of course. We are from Latin America, and we will. I will love to hear about like. Do you like Latin America? We know that you've been in Brazil, Peru, Mexico. Like,
Hmm.
what's the feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, I love it deeply. I mean, I was born, I grew up in Texas,
Mhm.
and my mom's from Southern California. And so it's always like Mexican culture has always been very present, like my whole life. And it just the like Mexican food and all these things. And my parents lived in Argentina just before I was born. And so we always had Argentine friends coming through the house. And
Yeah.
and yeah, just my dad, when he was in the 60s, he was in the Peace Corps in Panama, and he's like fluent in Spanish. And so we've always had Latin American friends present in our house and like coming through, and it feels very familiar. I mean, going to Mexico City for the first time, when was it? More than 10 years ago. And then going to the cities of South America, you feel like you're part of America. You're like, oh, right, this is not the United States of America. This is like America is a thing. Like there's a shared energy that's very complicated and very thorny, but it feels different than Europe. It feels different than Asia. It feels different than Australia. You feel like, okay, there are connections here that feel familiar. Yeah, it's always been a beautiful. Every connection I've had with Latin America has been really beautiful.
Yes, actually, I have some studies on how the Latin American music was like made, and it's really related with three different concepts about slavery, food, and just the music. And here in Peru, I'm in Peru right now. Actually, I'm Peruvian, and here, like we have different Latin America rhythms that with like your last releases with your band and etc. It has some related things like rhythms in rhythm with a like tac 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 tac, but with the effects of the trippy things, it's like you can't realize so fast that it's maybe some pattern of salsa, but it's there. And with the rock sound, it's like really interesting to make that kind of I don't know, different proposal in the music. It's something
and that's I think in the US we underestimate how important Latin rhythms have been, like how foundational they are to so much of the music we listen to. Like even more than 100 years ago, there were people like putting whatever they had just heard. Like sometimes they were like, they just heard a tango and they were like putting tango into blues music in like 1905, or they were putting Puerto Rican rhythms or Cuban rhythms or Colombian rhythms or Brazilian. Like sometimes you're like, oh, this is a rock and roll beat. And you're like, no, that's a Mexican song. Like that is right. Like that's, I mean, it's very foundational to the music everywhere. And then, when you start to hear it, you try to honor it. You're like, okay, this is real. Like, let's put that rhythm in.
That sounds great. And who would you like to like? This is like one of the questions that I like to hear, because it's like I really don't know about that. It's would you like to make like a collaboration with your music, or like any artist you would like prefer to make something together? It can be more than one, but I don't know if you feel it's really interesting what he or she's doing to make something about your music.
I mean, there's a artist named Shamir Bailey.
Okay.
And he has like my favorite voice kind of in all of music. And he does kind of had like an electro hit, but he has a bunch of grunge records. And I don't know that. Just Shamir's voice is out of this world. It would, and his songwriting and everything. I've been on a Shamir kick. He has a record coming out in October, I think. So that's been on my mind lately. Like, that's a cool. I like that.
Well, we have just one last question. I will would like to know who would you revive in the music world?
Who would I revive? Let me think about that just for a second.
Yes, of course. It's kind of difficult.
Because I mean, the first things that come to mind are all super famous. It's like Sam Cooke doesn't need a revival; he's really present. Like,
yes.
I feel like no, we already had a post-punk revival. We already had like the UK bands, like in the early 2000s.
Yes.
I feel like they got their due. Who needs love? And I mean, everyone needs love and attention, but who needs love and attention right now? I mean, there's so many.
Yeah, of course.
Underappreciated Motown is super famous, but there's still so many gems in Motown that aren't the famous ones that just deserve to be like put on a pedestal and worshipped as like the greatest craftsmanship.
Yes.
But it's always time for a Motown revival.
Well, that was excellent. Was great. Thank you very much for your time. In the 25th of this month, September, we will have your new record, Generation. So everyone is invited to listen this amazing album. Thank you very much, Will. We'll wait for that.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great. Bye bye.
Yeah. See you soon.
Ay, gracias, Ricardo.
Bye.